Hello everyone, welcome to the great outdoors. So I'm going to do a video for the collective. I hadn't planned on it, but it's just so nice out, and I'm not at home, so I'd like to say that I have access to this sort of environment all the time, but I don't. So I thought I would take advantage of it, and I'm going to do a collective reading. I only have 3 decks with me. I traveled light. I just have my Divine Animals Oracle deck, and I have my Tarot de la Nuit, and of course my teeny tiny tarot for clarifying. So you can probably hear some birds in the background. I thought I'd do this now. It's been fairly rainy where I am the last couple of days, but they're saying no rain for the next couple of hours. So we'll see how that holds up. Hopefully we'll get away with it. So again, this is just for the collective. This is just a reading, perhaps, from the energy of the forests and the rivers and the lakes that surround us right now. I know some people are going to want to know where I am, but I never give that away. I am in sort of the northeastern part. I'm sort of on the eastern side of Algonquin Park. Somewhere over there. Somewhere over there. So collective, and I think maybe I'll do an extended too for this. I've never done an extended for a collective, so I will do an extended as well. So the link for that will be at the top of the description in this video. So let's pull out, this is for the collective, a message for the collective. Perhaps even, I think it's kind of fitting that I have the Divine Animal Oracle deck and I'm surrounded by animals right now. They're a little quieter now that I'm speaking. So, can we get a card? I'm going to ask for a card right now. Message energy for the collective right now. And then something in the future. Future energy, future message. And then we're going to build up from that with the tarot. So we have 3 cards fill out, but 2 are face down and 1 is on the top. Oh, beauty. I love that you actually have this card and where we are with everything right now. And she's actually in the river, isn't she? It's almost as if the divine nature, earth, spirit is asking you to connect with nature on some level if it's possible. Perhaps even just through this video. Let me see what we have in the future. I'm going to expand on all this. We're going to go into depth with these. I'm going to read to you from the book, because these messages are quite profound as well. That's a lot of cards. Oh my gosh. Maybe this will be a long reading. Can we get 1 card to start with? 1 card, a message in the future, something about the future for the collective, something in regards to the future for the collective, something in regards to the future for the collective. Okay, 2, that's not bad. There is a responsibility and fear. I really love this responsibility card because it looks like someone who's taking ownership of some sort of leadership role that they have. Could be in your own life even, could be in your community, it could be at work, it could be with your family. And identifying people's unique traits. Because you can see this, meerkat. I was going to call it a meerkat. It is a meerkat. He's painting the spots on the hyena. There's a group that's waiting to receive their unique identity stamp. There are others that have already received it. And perhaps for some of you, you're about to receive your unique identity stamp. Oh my gosh. That's exactly what that is. Look at that. Oh, there's a hyena. The hyena is being painted. And the hyena is here in the fear. Perhaps there's some sort of fear about what your new identity stamp is going to be. But look at on the other side where the animals have all been painted. They've all been identified as who they are. They've all claimed their self-identity. They're living it. They're expressing it. They're free in that. There's abundance here. There's no abundance where the identity stamp doesn't exist. There's death, there's decay. So also perhaps who you were in the past is obviously no longer who you shall be in the future. This is such a strong card, this hyena card of scorpionic energy of death and rebirth. It's depicted so strongly and really well there. You're okay in the future. You are coming up in line to receive your identity stamp. And I don't mean like it's another label to be placed on you. It's not intended to be that way. And I don't think it would if it was a message coming to you from Mother Earth, from Spirit. Earth and Spirit do not have political systems. They do not have matriarchal systems. There are not labels applied. It is your true distinction and claiming that and living it to your fullest, who you are and what it is that you really represent, and expressing that because it has a place here on Earth. And this is your future energy. It's actually more exciting than this, but this is really beautiful. This reminds me of, this is the process before the future. She's naked. She is in touch with who she is, but yet she can't see where she's going. So you can't see where you're going. You can't see because it hasn't been painted for you yet. Once you receive your true distinction, but it's claiming it for yourself. Let's read in the book. I want to read the beauty one. I don't need to read this one. I don't read, like, it's coming through so clearly here, but I feel like there's a secondary message right now for you with the beauty card. So the swan, beauty. Beauty is all around us if we care to observe it. The natural world provides so much of it. However, remember, beauty is highly subjective. Love yourself first and know yourself. Look for the beauty in the situation. Ask and your questions will be answered. Love and know yourself. That's the future. That's actually as far as I'm going to go with that. And then it gets into Apollo. You can look that up if you want. I'm going to let you look that up if you want. It's about Apollo, Zeus. But I'm really actually, this message to me feels so much grounded in right now. It doesn't even, it's not about things from the past. It's not about archetypes from the past. It's not about gods and goddesses from the past. It's about you right now. And about to claim your distinction. What's at the bottom? Sorry if there's like a whole bunch of little red squirrels circling me here. Power, dear. Reciprocity, freedom. Beautiful underlying cards. Look at that. That's almost like having the distinction. Claiming your individual stripes or spots. Recognizing the distinctive beauty that you have within yourself and allowing that to grow and to blossom. But you have to claim it to do that first. This really feels like claiming it. Standing in the forest, standing out in nature, in the world. And owning it. Not letting anyone take it from you. The universe is waiting to give. It's waiting to exchange with you. And it's such a healthy exchange. It's so mutually beneficial. And then you have freedom. And that's the last one in the underline. So let's pull out some tarot cards. I'm sorry you can't see the table. This is the only way I could get it set up. Isn't it kind of nicer to look at that as opposed to the table, though? I'll show you the cards. Yeah, my phone is on a box with plasticine, holding it still, because I didn't bring my my little tripod. I don't think I'll make a video, but it's just so peaceful outside. I think I will. Okay, so we're gonna get some cards for the current energy right now with this beauty. It's like about to be unmasked, about to take the mask off, to see your true beauty. Maybe the spots and the stripes have been painted and you just haven't seen them yet. And in the future, it is seeing them. And it's taking you from a point of depletion to abundance. Beauty, beauty. I'm going to pull out 4 cards. 4 cards for the present and 4 cards for the future. I see fear. I see some fear in the future for what you perceive yourself to be and to move forward. Maybe you have to move beyond things that you haven't moved beyond before. Maybe you have to move towards things that you haven't moved towards before. I actually feel stronger in that you have to move towards things that you haven't moved towards before. And that's where the fear lies. It's sort of like the unknown. Because you're navigating through like an unknown in yourself and taking that unknown energy frequency that you are becoming. And it is an energy frequency because you're shifting your perspective about yourself. So you're taking that almost like a babe taking the first couple of steps and taking those steps in an unfamiliar area. It's almost as if like a little child that was just learning how to walk, but they started taking those first steps at the first day of preschool, daycare. It's like, I really don't know this environment and I don't know what I'm doing. So what you have for the present, you have the Sun. You have the 4 of Cups. You have the 10 of Wands. And then you have the Lovers. This is really very strong divine feminine energy coming through here. And I will tell you, all the cards that I pulled out, this is the only card where there's masculine energy depicted in it. So this does feel like a true recognition of the feminine within each of us. The softer, the more nurturing, receptive side. Being open to what is to be offered to you as well. As opposed to being the one to seek and to find. Allow nature to guide you. Oh my gosh, I'm just realizing. There's like little daisies all along the shore here, and the daisies are what are in the hair. Perhaps it is the masculine, the receptive. The feminine is receptive, but the reciprocity of the masculine energy. This is the one other spot where we do have masculine energy coming up. It's as if seeing a clear day with the Sun, the 4 of Cups, and the 10 of Wands. You see a clear day. You begin to gain a deeper and broader perspective on yourself and everything that you've been through, what you're working through in this lifetime, perhaps just in this more recent cycle that many of us have been in. And in that is allowing the past to kind of burn away so that you can kind of line up as need be with this blank slate. Like realizing and recognizing that you are not the experience. You take the lessons from the experience and continue to move forward. Is really, I would say, probably the broader message in all of this. It's burning away the past. It's burning away what is not for you or what has not been for you, what has not worked out. This is almost, to me, this is almost like the divine feminine. I often laugh at this card because I think she's so cute. Have you not noticed me yet? It's sort of that. But I do feel like, because the divine feminine also feels sort of this vulnerable energy, the feminine within you. This is a very vulnerable energy, naked in the stream and blindfolded. She can't see if others see her. She can't see even what she looks like now. It is very vulnerable. But it's a bit too, like, removing the vulnerability by allowing the past to burn away. I think, okay, with this card, I feel, what I do feel with this card is I feel like there's masculine energy that still looks down on her. This is the Lover's card, but it doesn't feel mutual. It feels, the masculine energy still feels kind of controlling to me in this card. Like he's forcing her to look at him. Maybe you feel like there's parts about yourself that the world is even trying to force you to look at, the spirit is trying to force you to look at. To look beyond what you've been told about yourself too, or who you think you need to be. Because I don't see that energy coming into the future. Sometimes it's almost as simple as just walking away from this. This feels on some level to me confrontational. To stop and look at me, like grabbing her chin and getting her to look up at him. So you looked at it, you're looking at it. Are you looking at it right now? Is it someone around you? Is it people around you? Is it situations, or how you've dealt with situations in the past and people around you? It's sort of looking at that and seeing it. And it doesn't even feel like having to do anything about it, because you're moving into something new here. You're just leaving it behind. It's just like walking away, like just walking out into the woods. And that's it. That's the end of that story. Maybe there's been energies around you that sense you're vulnerable as well. Because this does feel vulnerable to me. I mentioned it and I'll keep mentioning it because it's here. And this is all these two cards as well. This is sort of being like laid out. This is the position too, if I think about like my dog, any animal that lays on their back and exposes their underbelly, like the underbelly is exposed here. And then there's almost as if this sense of, I can let this be destroyed. I can walk away from this. It doesn't serve me. It's not my purpose, or it's not at least the path that I choose for myself now. In the future, we have the Knight of Pentacles, the Eight of Wands, the Queen of Swords, and then the Nine of Swords. She's taken her dance slippers off. I've never noticed that before. Why has she removed her dance slippers? Oh, there's a song that's coming into my head. Oh, what is it? I can hear the tune, but I can't. It'll come to me. But there's a sense of mental anguish in the future after taking cautious and thoughtful steps forward and finding a break. I'm hearing like finding a break in the woods. Because I did say almost like just walking into the woods. And this is like slowly clearing a path, creating a path for yourself, cutting down the obstacles that sit in front of you. And then doing that very meticulously and slowly and thoughtfully. Yeah. These two cards, to me, feel like they go with this. With the meerkat, with getting your spots. It's like working your way through the forest, working your way through yourself, through your relationships, your connections, and I'm representing those metaphorically like walking through a forest, and all of a sudden you hit the clearing. There's a huge clearing, and you can run, you can move with the Eight of Wands, you can move in the direction that you wish to move, and then you see something you want to move towards. It's almost like coming through the woods, perhaps searching for your own soul tribe. I'm getting that message as well. But you can't connect with that tribe until you've connected with who you are. And you can see yourself in your journey. And this is in the clearing. You hit the clearing and there it is. This is it. I connect. I connect with you. You connect with me. I feel this connection even though we're completely different individuals. But now, see, this is where the fear comes in. It's almost like having your spots. But now what do I do with it? The Queen of Swords and the Nine of Swords, bringing those two together, just to me, feels like an awful lot of overthinking to try to regain some sort, to try to get clarity, to try to perhaps understand who you are on an intellectual level before you've been able to negotiate whoever you are in the future, because you can't know yet. So maybe this is almost like a little footnote as you move forward, to think about that, to remember that. Whatever new journey you might be starting, you can't know who you are in that, because it still has to grow and it still has to develop, and you still have to make choices for yourself, for the direction you want to choose, where you want to go and what you want to do and what you would like to become. There is actually one more masculine energy on the underline. The Knight of Swords, very yang, and it is depicted as, I think all the knights in here are masculine. The Knight of Swords, the World, major cycle ending. So this is rushing forward with some sense of clarity or urgency, but this is like calm. I like that this has changed, because this feels kind of like a little suppressive or domineering to me. Is he going in for a kiss? I don't know. I just feel with this card like she's pulling back. She's not sure. So there's something that you're not sure about, that you feel perhaps you need to go in a different direction. And then the Knight of Swords, this masculine energy, whether that's playing out within you or someone around you, is actually listening to spirit and taking a pause. And then the World is sort of saying to you, this is your token, your ticket. You've completed this cycle. You've completed the steps here successfully. It's time to start new. But starting new, again, it's a sword, and it's a sword-based energy. The Eight of Swords, that can be something that you're telling yourself, that perhaps you can't move forward. There is a sense of protection here, moving into the future in your rebirth. I feel like the fear will be in your mind, but isn't it always? But almost not even instinctive. Or it could be something really instinctive within you, like to take a second and think about it. What is it that is causing me to overthink this or to fear something? To feel trapped? To try to find clarity and understanding and accuracy in what it is that is going on for myself. But to feel as if I can't dance anymore. I can't do that anymore. I don't remember how to dance. Maybe you're becoming such a different person in the future that it's difficult to recognize yourself. But again, a baby doesn't just start off dancing. A baby crawls first and then, gets their balance and then takes the first step and tumbles. Maybe that's what that feels like. I used to be able to dance, but now I can only crawl forward. So it does feel as if a message about not beating yourself up about this. And then what's behind that but the Queen of Cups? After feeling as if that you cannot move forward. Is using your intuition. She's standing. She is standing. Oh, yes. None of them are standing. The World to me doesn't feel like you. It almost feels like the universe coming towards you to grant you your pass forward. She's standing. No one else is standing after we got into the fear, because she's down on one knee and she's curled up in the fetal position. And she is not standing either. She's laying down and finally standing again. So you are entering this cycle almost like a new babe. The Eight of Swords is really curious with the horn she has on her head. Very Capricorn or Aryan energy. And both of those are cardinal signs. So it's kind of fascinating because cardinal signs like execute plans, ideas, move forward, get it going. But it's resting, it's stopping. It's a bit of the better part of you is almost in a chrysalis state. But the mind is not used to this. The mind and the body. It does remind me too of, you know, as you get older, I don't think it really matters how old anyone is. Do you ever meet someone who's quite old? They could be in their 80s, 90s, or even older. And try to imagine them as a child. Try to imagine what they were like as a little boy or a little girl. And they had all this energy, enthusiasm, and ability to do kind of whatever they wanted. But eventually the body cannot continue to do that. The spirit, the soul does not age. So within all of us is still like that little boy, that little girl that still wants to do all those things, but you realize, well, I can't do that all day because I'm going to pay for it for the next week. It's a little bit like that. Like the spirit within you wants to go forward because when you go through cycles when you're younger, it almost seems easier. Like, when there's something major that happens, often I find it's the adults that have more difficulty adjusting to the situation than it is the kids. And then it seems to be put onto the kids because the kids are thinking, oh, the adults are reacting this way, so I need to realize this is scary then. Really, I mean, again, it's also, I mean, you could get into a debate about leadership too, in that sense, but it's a programming. Oh, I didn't think this change was so bad. But as we go older and older, we become more fearful of these changes. But it's still our growth. It's never going to stop. So I'm going to clarify. I am actually going to clarify specifically the Nine of Swords with the fear. There's something that you're overthinking here. The Nine of Swords with the fear card. The truth. It's as if the truth is scaring you in the future. Why does it scare you? Why does the truth scare the collective in the future? Maybe in the past, things have held you back. Situations have been manipulative. There has been a feeling of confinement, struggle. It could even be just an addictive thinking process or a habit that you've gotten into. It's the devil is getting, that's the only thing. There's really nothing to be afraid of except fear itself. The responsibility with the meerkat. Oh, that's a whack of cards, man. Oh. It's being completely responsible for yourself. You got the Eight of Cups, the Nine of Pentacles, the Page of Wands, the Four of Cups, there's the World, the Knight of Wands, and the Nine of Cups. Oh, I see what it is. Okay, in the future, it's claiming who you are. It's finding that in yourself and expressing it too. And being responsible. You have the Nine of Pentacles and the Nine of Cups. This is completely and absolutely sovereign energy. You are responsible for your own physical well-being. You're responsible for your own physical journey. You're responsible for your own emotional and mental well-being. You're responsible for your own spiritual journey. It's really beautiful. So is there a fear of losing this? It's a little bit like a country that perhaps was ruled by another country or controlled by another country, either through resources or like legal documentation, however that may come through. And then finally claiming that freedom and putting up big walls, having ships circling their ports to protect and not allow it to happen again. That's what that is. It's like, oh my God, this freedom, finally having freedom over our resources, finally having freedom over the decisions that we choose for ourselves, finally having freedom to choose the course that we would like to take our own nation, yourself in, and not wanting anything to take that away. Let's look at this. Let's look at this. Give this masculine energy a chance to, because it does seem, but that makes so much sense. So maybe you have dealt with masculine energy in the past that was very domineering or controlling. Because there's this very strong sense of, okay, you're emotionally walking away from things emotionally. And like, there we go, looking after yourself, listening to the signs and signals, gentle, easy communication, things, missing out on opportunities, perhaps having to self-sacrifice to claim this for yourself. Let's get that cycle is over, and it's all about movement and happiness and fulfillment and high vibrational energy. But that comes in after this. The Lovers, this masculine energy is the Star and Temperance. So it is about healing that. It's about healing the masculine energy within each of you, and also healing the masculine energy in terms of the connections around you. Because this is where the power stays. Oh, look at this. Don't get in your head. See how it's coming together now? We're talking about this masculine energy, and perhaps some of you, it could be like your father. It could be partners, friends, siblings. There's all sorts of ways that this can come through. Bosses, so many ways. The government. And here we have this feminine energy standing in its power. And what is it? The masculine energy is one of the few depictions that we have here. And this is the reciprocity. And then there's freedom. I don't feel like it can be taken away. Wow, I can't help but see that the Empress is at the bottom as I'm talking about this. This is very Empress energy. So I'm looking at the sun, thinking about clarifying it, but it's already just coming in for me. The sun, what happens when you get too close to the sun? You burn. But it's almost as if like a self-imposed burn, having to burn things away to heal. With the Star and Temperance, it's just an enormous amount of healing. Wanting to shoot beyond the sun. But you can't shoot beyond the sun if you are only the concept of who you've always been when you were just shooting for the sun. So you have to go past the sun. And there's almost a layer that needs to be sacrificed or burned away to find the real true beauty within you. I think I'm going to stop there. I keep looking and there's nothing else. And we have the Empress and the Five of Pentacles, and then it's reversed at the bottom. Are you the Empress? The Empress within you, that connection to Earth, to Gaia, to creation. Life force. Has it been depleted? Has it been taken away? But it's there to come back for you. It's there. All right. There you go. I just thought I would do that today. I hope you enjoyed the view and the message. I thought it was really cool. Beautiful. You're getting there. So what I'm going to do is I am going to do an extended. And because I only have these cards, I'm going to pull all these cards up. And I'm going to create a whole new pile looking for guidance and energy beyond what we've already been able to investigate here. So thank you so much, everyone. Until next time, do be gentle with yourselves.